Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here, let me introduce myself. My name is Tammy. I am making some bath bombs for the little kiddos, and I have a bit of a custom order to do, and while I'm doing that, I'm just going to make a few more to sell on my shelf as well. So this is for, I believe, I don't know for sure, a Harry Potter inspired birthday party maybe, or something like that. Now I'm certainly not using any sort of verbiage that says Harry Potter. I'm not putting any kind of, name on this product at all. It's just going to be whatever anybody wants to think of it as. Back in the day, I did sell a house bomb, and I'm just not sure that that's really what I should call it, but it's going to be the same thing. It is going to be a white bath bomb with different colors inside. I'm also going to be making a gold covered bath bomb, and then I'm going to do some just cupcake bath bombs with little frogs sitting on some grass. Easy peasy. A nod to Harry Potter stuff, but not full-on Harry Potter, so I should not get in trouble for any of this stuff. I did find cute little molds on Amazon for frogs, but I think I'm going to make some wax melts with these as well, because I think that would be fun. But I went ahead and made my melt and pour little frogs, so check that out if you can see that. I'll try to give you a better look at it when the camera's down on my table too. And they have like little baby frogs. I don't know if you can see that. They're just the cutest things. I have just a few of those cauldrons left from last year. I've tried to sell the cauldrons, guys, and they just really never sell for me very well. I don't know why. They're as adorable as they can get. But instead of the eyeballs in them, I think I might throw a frog on top. So I think that might be kind of fun. So I'm just going to play around. Hope you stay tuned to watch. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work. I didn't want to resize my recipe or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of make it easy on myself. I already have this printed out. I'm going to go ahead and make this up with no color, pull off my bath bombs that I need for my surprise color inside, and then color this after the fact. I am going to get this on the mixer and put just a little bit of water in here like I would have if I had put dyes in it. So I'm going to get this bath bomb baking soda just a little bit damp, not very much, just maybe 5 mLs or something like that. Very, very slightly damp. I'm going to go ahead and add my kaolin clay. I'm going to very carefully add my SLSA because I do not have my mask on. And I also pretty much immediately just kind of cover that up. And then lastly, cream of tartar. So this is done and getting mixed in. So I have some shea butter that I've melted. I'm going to add my polysorbate. I'm going to use Georgia peach today. We all know how much I love Georgia peach. Maybe a half a more batch and I'm done with that. I'm so excited. I get my rubbing alcohol on Amazon, and I think I buy like 6 or 8 of these at a time, and they last forever. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I actually spend my life thinking I forgot something. Oh, avocado, I was. Every day when I leave home for work, I'm patting my pockets and my purse. It's like I feel like I'm forgetting something, and my husband is like every single day. Yes, it's horrible. I'm gonna go get this in the mixer. I'm gonna get the citric acid in here, and I'm not even sifting it this time. It's very, very fine. I'm gonna get that mixed in. I'll be right back. We're going to give this a try and see what happens. I have a couple different reds of sorts. This is more pink and this is more red, so I'm going to use this and not my actual cubes that I made to make a couple red ones. And I'm going to have to keep these separate, so she wants one of each color, so I'm going to have to be really sure that I'm giving her the one of each color. I'm going to do a test one real quick before I put any of the embed powder in there and just make sure I've got a good consistency. It's fine. That was fine. I'm going to fill it up about halfway. So here's my problem, guys. The thing I have the biggest struggle with is it feels like it takes so long for the colors to start showing through that I'm adding a bit more than I normally do. I'm trying to make it off center so that it shows up quicker. I don't know if that's going to do any good, if that's going to hurt me actually with the, you know, with it molding properly. All right, I'll be right back. But it's molding lovely. All right, I'm going to make 2 of each, I think. All right, red is done. I'm going to take my red and put it next to my red interior ones. So now we need green. I think I may just stick with the powder and not use the cubes. That's a lot. I don't want to, I don't mind putting a lot in there. I just don't want it to break my mold, actually. I've had trouble doing this where my molds just break in half. I didn't know if it had anything to do with where I was putting my embed powder, how much of my embed powder I was putting in there. So I'm a little gun shy about that. Can you even see what I'm doing? You can't. I'm sorry, guys. A little bit of green there, not too much though. I may try to move you over by the door where my press is. Let me see if I can get a good angle for you to see that. I'm going to make blue next. It's not the dark blue. It's not the dark red. It's just going to be fine, I'm sure. Not much to see here. A white bath bomb. I'm trying to get it to where you can see, and my arm's not in the way. I got a little dent on the bottom by doing that. Okay, I need one more color, and that is going to be my yellow. Yellow is not my most popular embed, as you may imagine, so I'm going to do a 3rd yellow, and that way we can test that one at the end of the video. Yellow is done. So guys, I realized that I needed 3 more of the white bombs to do gold, rolling gold. And I thought, you know, I have this purple, so I was just going to do the purple embed. But they were breaking apart, and I think I was either using too much of the powder or this had gotten a little too dry, so I just threw everything back in here. It feels much better. I don't know, you know, having this powder throughout my mixture, if that's going to be a problem or not. But we're going to give her a go. And I'm still going to add a little bit more powder in here because I want it to be a little more color for the tub than that. All right, it's gonna work, I think. It's a little splotchy, but again, no big deal. So I used up that whole batch, and I did not think that I would be using all of this one batch for those bombs. What I'm going to do is have to make another batch for my little cupcakes. Those have to be made today because I have to decorate them tomorrow so I can package them Sunday and deliver them on Monday. I'm against the clock a little bit on this one. I'm going to reset, get everything ready for batch number 2, and I will not use Georgia Peach, even though I want to get rid of it. This is very, very pale, and I'm looking for this color, but I have made the mistake of adding more dye, and then it turns out really, really dark. So I'm gonna leave this well and left alone and add my citric acid in. Everything else is ready. My liquids are ready. Everything's ready. Okay. I'll be right back. Were you guys yelling at me? Put the liquid in first, Tammy, not the citric acid. I don't know. It worked out, right? So first things first is I think I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe the cupcakes. And I do want to put these in here. You can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just getting these in here fairly firmly just because they're smaller than I want them to be. Now, I thought about doing my bigger cupcakes, but this is going to be more for a Halloween type of vibe. I like the purple is the closest I have for a Halloween type of vibe. So I can get 3.5 ounces of mixture in there pretty easily. My bigger cups, which I'll show you, I have a few of these as well. They're, I don't know if they're like cupcake holders or treat cups. This is like really stuck in there too. Heavens. Okay. So I could probably get a good 5 ounces in here pretty easily, but I have this mint green and this pink, and it just doesn't go with the vibe that I'm looking for. Well, guys, my battery died. It's just part of life with me, I think. I just changed it. There wasn't much to see. I filled these cute little purple cups. I have 3.5 ounces inside of each of those, and I have 12, and I had 8 cauldrons left. Those held 5, so I have 8 of cauldrons, 12 of the little cupcakes. They're both going to get some little grass piping on them tomorrow. I also have 4 eyeballs that are going to go in the grass, and then the other 4 cauldrons will get the frogs. All right, guys, it is the next day, and I wanted to show you how I'm getting my cauldrons nice and clean after filling them and getting bath bomb powder everywhere. Pretty simple. You take a little bit of water, or a lot. I just kind of really get it going all the way around, and then you just wipe it off. The water cleans off all of that, and then I just take a little bit of that damp towel, and now I have a clean, dust-free cauldron. You guys may know to do this already. I'm kind of embarrassed how many years it took me to figure this one out. There, clean, good to go. So I've tried a lot of different solid bubble bath formulas out there. Wonder Bar is the one I stick with mostly because it's just so easy to make a big base of it and just pull off what I need. I love anytime I can do that and get a big container of anything. I'm all in on that. And Wonder Bar seems to be the one that I can find that does that really well. And it's fairly hard. I don't know that I love it. I don't know that it's my absolute favorite solid bubble bath as far as usage, but it's not bad. And again, it's just so easy. So I have a big tub of Wonder Bar that I had made. It does take an awful lot of this mix to create anything. I usually do 16 ounces at a time, and I'm pretty sure I usually have to do that twice. But the thing is, for these, this is going to take a very small amount of bubble bar, and I'm not doing this kind of situation. I'm just going to try to make some grass. So I'm going to stick with 16 ounces and just kind of see what happens. Bath Fizz and Foam website does have this recipe. You can purchase it. They have several different recipes that you can go look at. I think some of them are way overpriced. But some of them are not, and I don't remember what this is. I think I bought it on sale. They do have sales several times a year, so don't buy anything there full price. Wait for a sale to come through. All right, so I'm going to get my very stained paddle attachment, and I'm going to just kind of weigh off like, I don't know, maybe 3 ounces. This is the last of my 99% rubbing alcohol. This takes a lot of alcohol. It's one thing I'm not that crazy about. Let's see how much it's going to take. You just pour a little bit in and let it go, and then you pour it a little bit in and let it go until you have a piping consistency. I'm also going to get my fragrance in here, so that will help with some of the fluid that I need. So about 2.5 ounces for the 16 ounces of Wonder Bar. I'm going to put a little bit more in here. I think we're good. So that was 3 ounces. There's maybe 1/4 ounce left in there. That's a really nice green. So funny story, guys. This green, I picked up lakes yesterday. Do I make a mistake in every single video? Honestly, do I? I think I might. I picked up lakes and not dyes. Well, lakes take a lot more to color than a dye does. They're in the same box, they're in the same bottle, and I normally pay attention to that, but clearly I did not this time. I'm loving this color. I've never done a grass tip, so hopefully this will work. I just want a little bit. Oh, it's not going to stick. That's not too bad. Oh gosh. All right, let's try one of these. This is hard to come through that little pointy thing. I don't know if it's the consistency that I'm doing or if it's the nature of the mixture. I'm gonna bust my bag is what I'm gonna do. That's clearly not working. All right, I'm gonna try this. It's just an open tip, pedal tip or whatever. I'm gonna call that one good, guys. So I forgot my frogs. I meant to make more, and I've just been running around like a crazy woman today. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and ice this. The frogs won't sit in the icing, but if I don't use this, it's going to get too hard, I think. Here we go. What do you think? Cute, right? Little frog patch. Little cauldron with a frog. Or a cauldron with an eyeball. Okay, I'm going to show you this just in case some of you may not know how to do this, but I have cubes of clear melt and pour. I'm going to melt these in the microwave, very short bursts, maybe just 15 seconds at a time. Take it out, give it a little shake. I don't really stir it. Usually I just kind of shake it around just so that intensity can kind of calm down before you start melting it again. I have boiled this over so many times. It does not take long to melt this. Maybe 2 to 3 15-second bursts for this amount of melt and pour. 3 15-second bursts is all it took. I'm going to put some of this latte brown that I got from Micah's and More. Not a lot for this amount of soap, maybe half of this 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now I'll stir it. I'm out of my spray. Let me add some rubbing alcohol to this little spray bottle. But spraying a little bit of that 99% alcohol in here, it breaks up the mica. And so I used to buy special liquid colorants for melt and pours. You don't have to. Mica works great. Just spray it with a little alcohol. It breaks up all of the like clumps and you are good. So I have just a little bit of this King's Gold mica. It is a very vibrant gold. This next color I have is a little bit brighter, but it's also got a bit more shimmer to it as well. But I'm going to use this up. This is the last of this, and that is just another jar off my shelf. And it's a really good color for what I'm using, but if I need to, I will grab some of that. Then I'm going to take my splotchy bath bombs in the bag. I think this is how you do it, guys. I don't think I have to spray it with alcohol or anything. I'm just going to see what happens with this. It's been a very long time since I've done this. Oh, I want to like shake off the excess in here. All right, next up. And the last one. Oh, pretty much did it in. I didn't need this at all. Let me shut that before I spill it. Y'all know. So I'm going to take a paintbrush and just kind of get rid of the excess. Look at that. I got to be careful. I don't want to take too much off. Maybe if I just tap it. I don't want them to have a huge mess on their hands when they go to take this out of the package and use it. Get it off the Saturn ring there. I kind of wish at this point I had one of those paintbrush things, airbrush paints. I think that would be perfect for something like this. I don't know how to do this. I just need to get rid of some of this excess. Maybe this is the best way. My gold bath bombs are done. These are almost done. And my white bath bombs are done. Next step is packaging. I'm gonna let these just sit and just, I don't know, there's nothing to dry. But I do feel like I'm just gonna let them sit there and maybe settle in a little bit. And I will bring you back tomorrow once all of this has had a chance to dry and we can start packaging these. Guys, it's the next day. It has been just an all-around frustrating day for me. I don't really have a very good reason why. I've just been really having trouble getting to work. I have wasted away this day. Literally just wasted it. And now I'm frustrated with myself. But I have to get these. I have to take these to work tomorrow. So that was one good thing that is getting me off my butt and getting me down here working. I think my melt and pour is not the low sweat melt kind I'm using. I'm trying to use up my old stuff. And it's a little bit old. And I think between those two, they tend to have the sweat. I'm in love with this mold. I think these frogs are just the cutest things. So I made my labels. This is going to be for the cauldrons and the cupcakes, and I also have all of those deli cups that I'm going to be packaging up tonight. I keep going back and forth between taking the discolored fragranced frosting off of it. I don't want to lose the money. The frosting is not that cheap. And I think I'm just going to play it off with like a chocolate type of situation. Or I'll mark them down. I think I'd rather just mark these things down than to jack around with making more frosting for them, honestly. I don't hand cut as much as I used to. I used to hand cut almost all my labels. Back in the day, I used my silhouette cutter to cut my labels. And I really did like that an awful lot when it worked. I could make literally any size, circle, square, rectangle. There was really no limit to the size of labels I made. And I could also fit a lot of labels on one sheet because I could position them, and I did. I moved those suckers around all over the place until I got every inch of that sticker paper used up. There's a but. The dang thing would not work. It would not read my, you have like little marks on your paper, and that tells the cutter exactly where to cut. And it just wouldn't read it, and it would fail and fail and fail, and I would get so frustrated with it. I spent years fighting that. My husband was like, Tammy, you've got to figure something else out. That was just so frustrating. I don't like when things don't work. That is in my closet because I can't seem to get myself to get rid of it. I've come close to selling it a couple times, and I've just hold off. These are my bath bombs. This should work for all the bath bombs that I made over here. Wanted to do a little bit of a color variation. I thought that would be fun. All right, enough griping. I'm in a mood. I'm going to set up the camera out in the other room so you can see how I get these wrapped. Maybe in the meantime, we'll wrap a couple of these. These are Wilton's, I don't know, I lost the tag. There's 150. I get these at Walmart. I'm going to put the warning and the ingredients on the back here. So we're going to just fold this down a couple times. Maybe just once. There. Done. Now this would not ship very well, like that package that way. I wonder if I should do some sort of cardboard to keep them stable a little bit better. I think I will. So I have a lot of cardboard sheets here. I bought them for my paint your own bath bomb kits, but I had to buy like, I don't know, 250 of them. It was the smallest pack I could find. But they do come in handy, and I do use them for this kind of stuff a lot. Just every once in a while, there's like, oh, I'm so glad I have this little piece of cardboard. Much sturdier. A little cockeyed, but there we go. There's the cupcake. We're in my main basement, maybe a little echoey in here. And this is where I have my shrink wrap system all set up. But let me show you these kind of up close if the camera will pick that up. What to name something that is inspired by, or without getting, inspired by without getting into trouble. So I named these Where Do You Belong? And I think that is fine. I tried really hard to stay away from anything kind of in the realm of where I could get in trouble, but they're where do you belong, and they're just white bombs with colors inside. That's all they are. That's my story. I'm going to clean this off. I have a handy dandy little ladybug vacuum. This works really good for just kind of getting the big stuff off. It's great for a crafter. But it works better on like hard surfaces than it does on this rubber, but it works pretty good. I'm just gonna do one of each color first off. Don't wanna make mistakes. You know what? I will go ahead and get my gold bombs too so I can fill up my row. So I'm only gonna do these two. I won't be able to reuse that gold one. I don't wanna transfer gold, but that'll hold something. And I have a box of scraps. I I don't know that I'll ever go through them all. All right, so I'm gonna just heat these up. This is what I do to my labels. I will grab a label, and I am naming these the same. I'm just doing all of these the same. And I put a two-sided tape right smack dab where the name is, right in the middle of the label. And then I put a piece of regular tape on here. And then I just go stick that on. Can you see? And then wrap it. And so what that two-sided tape does is it holds the cardstock in place. So when I'm wrapping them for their second go, I don't have to worry about that falling like I was. I was putting the two-sided tape on this end too, but it got to be where I was feeling like I was running out of those little dots. And this just, I think, is easier this way. So now that that's done, I'm gonna seal them again. This holds the label on some more. It protects the balm a little bit better. I'm kind of ambidextrous, so I never know which hand to use for any of this stuff. I'm going back and forth with my hands, aren't I? I don't even realize I'm doing it half the time. You should see me wash silverware. I wash everything with my left hand until it comes to silverware. I have to wash those with my right hand. I'm going to pull these and take these upstairs and get those in the bag for the order for tomorrow. And then maybe I'm done. I don't know. I'll bring you back though. I'm sure. I always have to say goodbye to you guys. We're going to test that yellow one that we made an extra one of. It wants to float for a second. It's floating a little bit maybe. I'm anxious to see how long it takes for that yellow to show up. I like how aggressive it is. That's fun, but it's not so aggressive that it's petering out too quickly. There's the yellow. It took about 2.5 minutes to get to yellow. It really slowed down there, didn't it? Here's some foam from the SLSA. So it's almost out. There's a little bit there left. That was right at 3.5 minutes, probably, maybe 4. The water looks nice and yellow. To recap, here is my cauldron. I didn't end up putting any shred in here because it feels pretty solid for the most part on its own. Here is a cauldron with its little eyeball. Here is the cupcake with the chocolate frog on top. I think that's a cute one, and I like how I packaged that one because I can't talk about something without actually having it in my hand. Anyway, so here's the Where Do You Belong bath bomb. I still don't love this. I don't know what this would be considered, like a cigar band, I guess. But it does have the information I need. It has the ingredients here. I have this warnings here. I think it's not clean enough for me. And with the biodegradable film, it's always wrinkled and it's never just perfect. And I do have a bit of a struggle with that not being just perfectly smooth. I got very chatty and quite Gabby, actually. Gabby and I, my granddaughter, were talking about her name this weekend, about how if she's Gabby or not. She is. She may get it, honestly. I don't know how much I'll keep of that. It just depends on how long the video is, but I was pretty talkative. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe if you haven't. I hope you have a lovely week ahead. Bye.